Thank you very much, MFR, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I would say all protocols observed. There are so many people here. If I start listing them, we will not finish. Let me thank the multimedia group for inviting CDD to participate in the National Dialogue on Media Freedom. I think it's regrettable that we are meeting to deliberate on concerns about media freedom and safety 23 years after the repeal of the criminal law. In a way, it's a reminder that we have to continue all the time to be vigilant, to try as much as possible to measure our progress, and also to watch our decline. But sometimes maybe we get caught in the jargons when we say media freedom, media safety. We need to remind ourselves why media is important. I don't think any legitimate modern government can govern effectively these days without media. And you don't even have to call it a democracy. I think even dictatorships will struggle, even though it's a controlled media or whatever. But the point I'm making is that it's very important that we protect journalists and media because they do so much for us in society. Just the basic processes of information sharing, giving feedback to government, participating, allowing citizens to participate, have a voice in governance processes, facilitating transparency. So we've gone further to make sure that media is protected because we've elevated them to that level. We put them in the constitution. We've written. So if we are protecting media, we are protecting our own well-being. If media is thriving, we as citizens will thrive because they are the ones, the fuel that allows us to engage in the democratic process. And I think when citizens sometimes lose that fact and they attack media, whether it's a party or some angry person that feels that some journalist has said something they don't like, that they forget these things. That one day when you wake up and there's probably flooding in your area, or there's some disaster that's coming, and you have no means of getting information to save your life, then you understand what media means. One other factor which I always like to mention, why I think that we should care a lot more about media, is that the media space is very youthful. When you go to any media newsroom, it's full of young people. And their experiences on a daily basis will reflect the way they feel about our country. If they are constantly being intimidated, beaten up, and so on, that is how they will feel about the country because they represent the majority of us. So sometimes we forget that they are young. That's really, they represent the majority of citizens. And the way they feel about Ghana will reflect even the way they communicate about Ghana. So it's one of the reasons why I think we should care more about media. Now, we've been trying to confront this challenge for a while, and I know that we were working on the coordination mechanism for the safety of journalists. I'm hoping in the conversation to hear more about that. Where have we gotten to? Because if we are going to deal with this, then we have to be purposeful and sustain our efforts. It cannot be episodic. Now that we're going to elections, I believe we even need to intensify our efforts. and draw a very clear line in the sand that it is a no-no when it comes to safety of journalists. There shouldn't be any equivocation. Sorry. I wanted to use that word, so whatever the case, I would say equivocation. We shouldn't waver. We shouldn't be doubtful about. For CDD, we are happy to be able to support this so that we can have urgent and sustained action, and we truly organization of this platform. This is the conversation starter, is the awareness creation. What we want to see is a clear action plan where we can all track, implement, make sure that indeed journalists are safe all the time when they go out to work. So thank you again for the opportunity, and thank you all for coming, and we hope that we have fruitful discussions.